Welcome, ladies and gents. The critics and audiences have joined forces in unison. They share the same opinion on one movie. You read from the title, Borderlands has bombed. Now, the Rotten Tomatoes score is indicative of the box office because the box office is atrocious. This movie, I don't think it will go down as one of the biggest box office failures of the year. Close. It cost somewhere in the region of $120 odd million. It's absolutely destroyed itself at the box office. I don't understand what they were doing. So let's take a look and see what Deadline had to say about this. This isn't the 100% up-to-date figures because they haven't done up-to-date figures just yet. This is as up-to-date as we can get. But yeah, it's not good. All right, it's not good. So if you want to talk about audiences cratering, I like how Deadline is like, oh, your audiences are cratering. It's not. It's just that you made something garbage and people could see that it was not great from the outset. Like, Lionsgate's Borderlands, which is expected to do $10 million. $10 million. Good God. That's so bad. $10 million. $20 million. That's good God. The Eli Roth directed feature take of the popular video game got a D+. Sorry, I thought I said Disney Plus. And D+ cinema score. D+. Wow. The last D+ on cinema score was for 2022's Mac and Rita. I never even heard of that. A24's Men. Alright. Lionsgate sometimes pump out the occasional big bomb. This one wasn't greenlit by Lionsgate Motion Picture Group chair Adam Fogelson. He's careful when it comes to money. In recent memory, Lionsgate has had such misfires as Gods of Egypt. Ugh, that's insane. 2021's Chaos Walking. Ugh. And then it says this, interesting to note is that Gods of Egypt opened during the third weekend of the original Deadpool. A similar occurrence here in the dating of Borderlands. However, it's not the date that's against this movie. And there's no amount of smart marketing that could save what appears to, in tone, be a Tank Girl meets Furiosa type of sci-fi fantasy. These gonzo-like movies have limited audiences. What's glaringly obvious is that nobody wanted to see this film, period. Borderlands is showing IMAX and PLF screens with Deadpool and Wolverine, and that's still not a draw for fanboy mobs. The formats rep 24% of the pics still. It's a complete disconnect between a studio believing there's an audience for a video game movie which doesn't exist, or it's a matter of not getting the adaptation right. I think there's definitely an audience for a Borderlands movie. Like, I do think there is. Just not one that costs so much money and also isn't a good adaptation. They say this here. Social media metrics firm Relish Mix saw the grey clouds coming for Borderlands with a universe reach across TikTok, YouTube, X, Instagram and Facebook of 104 million, which is 61% of other action sci-fi romps. This despite the social media power of Kevin Hart, Jack Black, and Oscar winner Jamie Lee Curtis. I don't think anyone cares about Jamie Lee Curtis, not going to lie. Jack Black, people don't care about anymore because he was weird about the whole Trump assassination thing. Kevin Hart, I don't think many people care about Kevin Hart either, to be fair. So Relish Mix says, negative notes express disappointment in the tone that fails to capture the original game's spark and the film's misplaced characters expressing Roland, Lilith, Tina and Krieg is such an odd combo of characters to choose. Also, it bugs me so much that Lilith doesn't have her siren tattoos, yet apart from casting, most complain that the adaptation feels hollow and lacks the game's impact. So again, It's about it not being a good adaptation. It feels underdone. Hopefully the soundtrack in the final cut is different, apart from this not feeling like a movie set in the Borderlands universe. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. It says there's someone having a problem with Cate Blanchett going out of her zone as a bounty hunter. I don't think it's that. I mean, look at this. Borderlands is bound to lose $20 to $30 million at the end of the day. $30 million. I think it'll be more. Like, significantly more, actually. It says here, here's the funny thing about this business, which the media needs to realise. Oftentimes when these bombs reach their 5th and 6th cycle in their window, they start showing cash. I understand Gods of Egypt just hit break even. Oh my god. Wow. 8 years after its release. That's crazy. I don't know whether Borderlands will. But Lionsgate executes a foreign sales pre-sale model. I didn't know that, actually. That's interesting. So that's a way to... Oh, so I guess actually about the $30 million is probably about accurate. But that's not the profit that they wanted. That is quite crazy though, hey. Absolute madness. So basically just everyone hates it. Understandably. Literally top critics 0%. All critics 10%. Do you know who the first one was to review this positively? Guess. Guess. Do you want a hint? So... Grace Randolph. Fucking Grace Randolph. God. So yeah, audiences are obviously hating it. Too loud, couldn't catch a storyline, very disappointing. This was like watching the Guardians of the Galaxy, good story, just the right amount of Kevin Hart. So some positive. Mediocre at best. Many parts just seemed to drag, no comic relief or dry humour. Where it did attempt it, expected better. This is not a terrible movie, as far as a relatively harmless action comedy for the early teenager crowd. Fans of the video games have been understandably frustrated by the creative liberties the movie made with the source material. For people that have no endearment to the games, like me, the movie is wacky and outrageous and disposable. Like most big budget popcorn flicks. Huh. I mean, it's not massive. Well, yeah. I cried laughing because the ChatGPT storyline and the washed up actors made for hilarious moments. Trash cinema. A lot of people are complaining that it seems like a movie written by AI, which is very, very interesting. Mid, not terrible, but also not great. Which I guess actually plays out when you're looking at it being 50% mid. So there you go. Borderlands is a bomb. What do you guys think? $30 million loss. Deadline thinks. And that's them potentially even factoring in the sort of second revenue sources, second and third revenue sources. Anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop them down below. Cheers, guys. Take care. Bye-bye now.